I'm going through all 32 NFL teams and going to tell you one reason why I love them and one reason why I hate them. Make sure you watch to the end of this video because we are giving away an NFL jersey of your choice. Also, I saved the best division for last. The Miami Dolphins. What do I hate about the Dolphins? I hate the fact that they pop champagne every time an undefeated team loses in the NFL like they personally accomplished something. They love to harp on that 1972 NFL season when they went 17-0, including the playoffs and the Super Bowl. And I do think it's very impressive, but I also think it's a little bit corny how they still bring it up almost every year. And now in 2025, you have to play 17 games before you even get into the playoffs. I do think it's an incredible accomplishment, but also the 2007 Patriots won more than 17 games before they lost one. The season was just longer. The reason why I love the Dolphins is because of their throwback uniforms. They have the best throwback uniforms in sports. They are absolutely beautiful. I just wish they would wear them more often. The Buffalo Bills. I hate that the Bills are building a multi-billion-dollar football stadium and they refuse to solve one of their biggest problems, snow, by putting a retractable roof on the stadium. Now, what do I love about the Buffalo Bills? I love that they are building a multi-billion-dollar stadium and they are refusing to put a retractable roof on there. Yes, I know. It's the same exact reason. I think it's both idiotic and amazing. It's such a Buffalo thing to do and it's so fun. That community has to show up and shovel the seats. I think it fits right in with the tremendous fan base that they have, and it's just so Buffalo. The New England Patriots. I hate that the Patriots have been involved in multiple cheating scandals. I also hate that they continue to win for literal multiple decades, and also Tom Brady beats the Cowboys every time he plays them. I love that the Patriots gave us one of the best dynasties in sports history, though, and they produced the greatest quarterback to ever play football out of a 6th round draft pick, which you cannot hate. The New York Jets.
Offensive coordinator, you got a busted play here, and that's Wolford.
I hate that this is your most famous play in franchise history over the last 30 years, but I also love it. But I do love the fact that your owner said, hey, listen, our GM and our coaches, they make the decisions. If you want Aaron Rodgers out of here, get him out of here. I'm not going to involve myself like some other owners in the NFL. The Baltimore Ravens. I hate the fact that this is the biggest topic on your team right now, but I love that you proved all the Lamar doubters wrong and proved that he is an MVP caliber player. And also you made Jerry Jones look like an absolute idiot for not even calling Derrick Henry. The Cincinnati Bengals. I hate that your cheap ass owner waited until 2025 or 2024, whenever it was, to start building an indoor practice facility for your multi-billion-dollar sports franchise. But I love Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and I love your regular uniforms, one of the best uniforms in the league. And that duo between Jamar and Joe is just tough not to root for. The Cleveland Browns. But I love the fact that I couldn't really think of anything that I love about your organization other than the fact that I give you, all of you fans, props for sticking around this long if you have, because it's pretty bleak history. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I hate the fact that you guys let America down and changed your stadium name from Heinz Field to Acrisure Stadium. A 21-year run over, and it's never going to hit the same. It never will. But I love the consistency of your franchise, which, by the way, is one of the reasons why I don't like that you let Hines go. I love Mike Tomlin. I'm glad that you guys have stuck with him for this long. He's a great football coach, and you don't overreact every season like a lot of other football franchises. Also, your uniforms are iconic. The Indianapolis Colts. I hate the fact that y'all made up Deflategate and thought that was the reason why you got absolutely waxed by New England 45-7. I promise that had nothing to do with the air pressure in the balls. No type of football, Nerf ball, deflated ball, fully inflated ball, nothing is going to fix a 38-point deficit. But I love the fact that you guys gave us Pat McAfee. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I hate that the most interesting thing about your franchise is that you have swimming pools in your stadium. However, I cannot decide yet if I do love that idea or hate it. But I love the fact that you gave me so many fun memories as a child watching Maurice Jones-Drew. He's an underrated running back, and if you don't remember him or never got to see him, you should go check out his highlights because he was fun to watch. The Houston Texans. I don't really know how to pinpoint it, but you have found yourselves as one of the most boring franchises in sports, from the uniforms to the team name to being in the AFC South. But I got to give you guys credit for not putting up with Deshaun and moving on, and I also love D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud. I think you guys have a really solid nucleus and really could be cooking up something special in the next couple couple of years, and I think your fans are pretty good. The Tennessee Titans. I hate the fact that you guys have the worst uniforms in the NFL and the worst color scheme in the NFL. But I love that, ironically, you have one of the best throwback uniforms of all time in the Houston Oilers uniforms. The Denver Broncos. To be honest, I tried to think about this, and I don't know if there's anything that I directly hate about your franchise other than the fact that I'm surrounded by Broncos fans, and I think that over the years that's just made me dislike them, but I couldn't even think of a direct reason. I just don't love you guys. But I absolutely love the fact that you gave us 2 incredible content years of Russell Wilson.
Broncos country, let's ride.
And you also got my boy DeMarcus Ware a Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it's pretty easy to get sick of a team that repeatedly has success and maybe gets a few favorable calls here and there. So I think that one kind of goes without saying. But I love the fact that you guys have an extremely passionate fan base that really does deserve the success that they have seen over the past few years. The Las Vegas Raiders. I don't love the fact that you guys moved to Vegas and abandoned all of your diehard fans multiple times in LA or Oakland or wherever it is. And you kind of treat your team now like a circus and a tourist attraction rather than a football program. I mean, the stadium now is just constantly overrun by opposing fans, but that might also be because you're not very good at football. But I do love the good old Al Davis "just win baby" quote. It is one of the most iconic quotes in sports. We have you to thank for that. The Los Angeles Chargers. This is just like the Vegas Raiders. I hate the fact that you guys left San Diego just to become the little brother in LA. And little brother is saying something because even the Rams struggle to get fans at their games. It's just utterly disgusting that every home game feels, looks, and sounds like an away game. It's just devastating for their fans, their players, everything. It's one of the most disappointing decisions in the NFL. But I love the fact that you gave me my favorite running back of all time, LaDainian Tomlinson, and I will never, ever, ever forget watching him as a kid. And all of your fans that have stuck with you through your departure from San Diego, they are true fans. They are real ones. The Chicago Bears. I hate the fact that your quarterback taste has been bad for my entire life, and you also selected Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. But I love your jerseys, and I love your stadium, at least where it's located. I've never been there yet, maybe this year, but I've just found the Bears to be a cool team. I love the branding. It's something that jumps out that I like, and that's all without having any good quarterbacks really ever. Also, Devin Hester is one of my favorite players of all time, and I will never forget that kick return for a touchdown in that Super Bowl against the Colts, now almost 20 years ago. The Detroit Lions. It's hard to really hate on a team that appears to be genuinely cursed, and I don't really have anything bad to say other than the fact that I feel bad for you guys. And I love the fact that you are the only other team that consistently plays on Thanksgiving alongside my Dallas Cowboys. There's just something nostalgic about it, and I love that tradition, and I hope it never changes, even though most of the time you are losing those games. Sorry. The Green Bay Packers. I don't know if I'm fully on board with the cheese head thing, but I'm not 100% committed to that bit yet. But I love Lambeau Field in the snow. There are a few things that say football or look like football more than the image of players playing in Lambeau Field in cold weather. It's a beauty. The Minnesota Vikings. I don't love the fact that I was talked into Sam Darnold all season. And anytime I said anything bad about the Vikings or Sam Darnold on any of my live streams, I sure heard it from you guys. But we all know how that turned out. But I love your colors. I love your logo. Your stadium looks like an absolute beauty. And Adrian Peterson is my second favorite running back in the history of the NFL. And I will never, ever forget those memories of watching him play. The Atlanta Falcons, 28-3. I had to put this in the hate category because if I put it in love, it would feel like I'm dissing you in two different categories. But man, this is probably the best Super Bowl watching experience of my life. Again, I'm just putting in hate so I can still give you some love and love. I'm sorry. I do love the fact that you guys have the best colorway in all of sports. I do not think anybody has better colors or better theme, and your throwback uniforms are a beauty. The Carolina Panthers. Unfortunately, I hate your history. Despite making it to the Super Bowl twice, you have one of the bleakest histories in the NFL. There have only been 7 seasons in franchise history where you have recorded 10 or more wins. And you have no good quarterbacks in your entire history other than Cam Newton in 2015. It's just kind of dark when you look back on it. And the fact that you're still not good now and bottom of the league right now is tough. However, I do love 2015 Cam, prime Cam. That season was unbelievable, even though it obviously did not end the way you would want it to. But I remember in 2015, I was working at a sports memorabilia store. And the way that the Panthers just completely took over that season, our entire store was all of a sudden just getting boxes and boxes of Panther stuff because people were getting so excited about this team. The New Orleans Saints. I hate Bountygate. Obviously, terrible look for your franchise. But I do love that onside kick in the second half of the 2010 Super Bowl against the Colts. That's one of my core memories as a child. For some reason, that play has stuck with me. It was so surprising at the time, and it led to their first Super Bowl ever. Only Super Bowl ever. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't really hate this, honestly, but it is kind of funny that they were irrelevant for literally decades, and then all of a sudden cherry picked a Super Bowl with Tom Brady for a season, and then now they're back to just being okay. But I do love Baker. I love that Baker is revitalizing his career there. I think they do have a solid team, and I absolutely love that pirate ship in your stadium. It is incredible. The Arizona Cardinals. I hate that y'all couldn't get Kurt Warner that Super Bowl in 2008. I was a young kid watching that Super Bowl, and I was rooting hard for the Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald, and you guys let me down. But I did absolutely love watching Larry Fitzgerald growing up. He was one of my favorite receivers for a real good chunk of my childhood, and one of the classiest players of all time. The Los Angeles Rams. I hate that y'all moved to LA. Again, I hate it. You abandoned your fans, no one's attending your games, and your rebrand sucks. I hate your uniforms. But I do love that you got Matthew Stafford a Super Bowl. So if there is any silver lining in this, Matthew deserved that Super Bowl, and you guys are the ones that helped him get there. The San Francisco 49ers. I don't love the fact that when I hear 49ers, the first thing I think of is back-to-back playoff losses that we have suffered the last few years against you guys. But I do love your logo and your uniform. It is one of the most iconic brands in the NFL, in NFL history, and I'll always be a fan of it. The Seattle Seahawks. I hate that one of my true core memories as a kid involves your team in a negative way. One of the most debilitating losses of my entire life. But I love this uniform and this logo, and it should be brought back forever. The Dallas Cowboys. Listen, surprisingly, I probably have more reasons to hate my own team than really any other team in the NFL, but that's just because I'm the most passionate about them. But the number one reason I hate them is obviously it starts with the top. But I love that the Cowboys have given me something to cheer for ever since I was a little kid. Rooting for this team has had a lot of downs and some ups, but it has given me a true love of watching football, and that will never change. The New York Giants. I hate that I have seen you win 2 Super Bowls, but I have to admit, the thing I love about you is the David Tyree catch. That Super Bowl was so hyped up. It was such a big upset, and that catch was literally insane. It's one of the greatest moments in NFL history, as much as it pains me to say that. The Philadelphia Eagles. I hate that you've just, it makes me sick to say, but you've just overall had more success than the Cowboys in my lifetime. You've won 2 Super Bowls just like the Giants, but even in the years in between, you've just had a better overall team than the Giants have, and you're always good, and I hate it. But I absolutely, positively love your Kelly Green uniforms. And I think that it's pretty obvious you have some of the most passionate fans in the whole NFL, maybe in all the sports. The Washington Commanders. I hate that your stadium appears to be certified trash. And with all the misery that the fans have had to deal with over the past, multiple decades, the least your owner could do is give them a soft place to land when they watch football games. But I do love Jaden Daniels, and how can you not? There's just something about him that I am rooting for, and I'm excited for him. And honestly, the Commanders have never really been a threat to me, and now they are, but there's just something about them that, I find myself kind of rooting for them, honestly. Okay, that is all we have. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you very much. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you are new. If you want to enter this NFL jersey giveaway, just make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you share this video with one friend, and make sure you follow me over on Instagram, because that is where we will be announcing the winner.